I'm back with another video here at the American Treasure Tour Museum. This is not Spirit Halloween, but there is Kwan stuff in here, so let's just get in. We're in. Dude, it says the name of the piano. We also have dolls in here. I like these old pianos. It's a smash right there. Next part of the museum, these big houses. Of shows. We got that. I forgot his name. I may be wrong, but the horror here. Gremlins, Plant, Mickey Mouse, the carousel, the little train station. And this guy right here. Oh, they have the Wizard of Oz right here. Another part of the horror section. Or Halloween. Look, you got Cruella de Vil in the Halloween section. This one. Now we're moving on to the Raggedy Ann section. Yeah, all these bigger plush. They have a whole bed of Raggedy Anns and what's the other's name?
Well, the gentleman in the orange shirt and the lady with the white shirt, please come to the front. I was
Did you
speaking earlier.
there's Raggedy Ann
On our
and
tram at we do have 2 seats for you, so if you're interested in taking our tour, please come to the front.
You said there was Raggedy Ann and Andy. All right. Oh, I never knew there was a yellow version.
What, yellow hair?
Telephone section.
My phone we used when I was little.
Ooh.
The elephant show, Mom would love that. This is what we used when we used to.
Wow. On the other side.
On the wall.
Oh. Oh, here are the older versions, even older. Over here.
We had one of these.
Walking.
It's a phone.
Oh. They even have older phones right here. These are even older.
Oh my god, look how small those phones are. Look, you know.
They have this guy. They have him stuff into a choir or something. They have Bozo the Clown telephone, and they have another one down here. They have that one guy from. They have these old. Yeah, but they have these old ones from like Bay Beach or something. Forgot their name. There's a clown up there. Next box, toy room. They have a take a sneak peek. They have Gorilla over there. There's a whole bunch of clowns over there.
Oh, yeah.
Clown and car. They have a whole bunch of cars in here you can walk through. Now, you guys want to go through here and we'll come around this way, or you want to go that way?
Go straight and then come around.
All right. Ooh, I see a whole bunch of clowns and these old cars. Not in the cars, but teddy bears. Lotso.
How big that is.
I feel like you can buy one of those big ones, probably. Poke your head through.
David, go get in there. I'm not going to take your picture.
We got Bobo the Clown. No, it's not Bobo. I think Homo the Clown. And just the Weighty Misfortune Tower. Look at this girl right here. They have Winnie the Pooh right here. There's plushies in all these cars, I think. There's this doll right here. Yeah, more dolls in here. They have Lion King right here. Look at that, they got Lion King. Oh my. Yo! It's Chuck E. Cheese!
Here, stand there.
Alright. Let's see what it says. You guys can see it. Oh. Now, if I don't believe this vest was used for only one show tape, and the hat was just Chucky's Derby, which looks like it has damage. I wish I could say this part all day, just like talking about this, but there's more to do. I'll be back over here. Alright, and on to the next section. And we got all this on this side, and they have another clown up there, doll there. And they got these glow-in-the-dark things right here. Miniature houses. They look like they're from Beetlejuice. They have this old rhino over here also. I don't know where it's from, but probably from somewhere. It's tennis rackets and balls. And a tiger head. They got Donald Duck over here. Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse. Oh, look at that right there. We got a head right there. More of the old cars. You see the back of Chuck E. Cheese from right here. Trying to get a good look. Back of Chuck E. Cheese. Alright. They got Dopey. They got Dopey. We got this guy right here. They got Lion over here. Ooh, let's see if they have any movies I like. Okay. Looking if they had killer clowns on there. Wait, do they have killer clowns back there? You never know.
AJ,
Look.
look at the elephant.
They got this big elephant right here, right next to these giant shoes. They got painting. Oh, it's like boardwalk. Don't know where though. Got gremlins right here. Back in the teddy bear section. Some more mini cars right here. Indiana Jones. Right here. They have a back over here. They have a whole cart with a clown up front.
Wall clowns.
All right, we're on to the tram car part now, and just a whole bunch of clowns right here. Clowns on that side, up here on the top, on top of us, and there's a whole wall of clowns right here. They got this guy right here. Well, they got a painting. Got like a
pictures up there.
whoa. Oh yeah, I saw those. They got Donald Duck up there trying to.
Oh, look at that over there.
Where? Oh. We'll probably get a better look when we start with
Yeah.
getting dried, but
The Buzz.
there's a whole bunch of other clowns. I'll zoom in
Buzz.
for a look of that over there.
Collection and give a little history of those items. There happens to be thousands of things to see here. Please look around everywhere. Feel free to take videos and pictures. Tag us if you do social media. There should be a QR code that you can scan and take a rate on our page.
We'll do.
The most important thing is enjoy the tour.
All right,
Yay.
let's get this started.
All right, let's get this party started.
Got the best view.
It's gonna be super
Some
fun.
tram car part.
I just realized that really has a
All right.
Welcome to the fantabulous American Treasure Tour Museum, quite possibly the coolest pop culture museum on the planet. This area of the museum we call the Toy Box, and you are about to view a collection amassed by one man who wishes to remain anonymous. We honor that request, as he wants the items collected to be the stars of the show. His passion has brought together one of the world's largest collections of pop culture from the 1870s to present day. The collection is constantly evolving, and we like to say there is always room for more. As your tram ride begins, we would like to remind you to remain seated at all times and do not get off the tram. We encourage you to take out your phones and cameras to take lots of pictures and videos. If you post on social media, please tag us. There will be a lot to see on your tour today, and we always like to know what caught the eye of our guests as they traveled along. Around the first corner on the right, say hi to our wonderful gorilla. He stands guard here 24/7 to make sure he is in place to greet all of our guests. As you continue looking right, say hello to Dora the Explorer in the Soapbox Derby car. Today she is being co-piloted by Alf. On the left, we have a replica of a Conestoga wagon, along with Cowboy Bob. Real Conestoga wagons that traveled across this great country were actually 18 feet long and 11 feet high and could carry up to 12,000 pounds of cargo. Our collection got started with automobiles. The first of these is on your right, the blue 1956 Thunderbird. This is a beautiful sports car equipped with a hardtop convertible. These models were made for 3 years between 1955 to 1957 and designed to compete with the Chevrolet Corvette. For a family car, look no further than the next car on the right, and you will find a 1958 Studebaker station wagon. The price of this automobile when it first arrived in the showroom was $1,776. We have around 70 classic vehicles here in the museum, some of which you get to see on foot and some from the tram. If you love cars, make sure you pick up a brochure for our sister company, the Classic Auto Mall in Morgantown, Pennsylvania. They have a huge selection of vintage automobiles for sale. If you would shift your focus to the left, we have 3 circus wagons filled with delightful automatons. In the late 1890s, electricity was coming to our big cities. At the same time, mass production of plate glass was developed. Therefore, storefronts opened up with large display areas, and the art of window dressing began. At that time, most people did not have electricity in their homes, and the public was captivated by the moving displays and electric lights in the store windows. Just like the mechanical music you will hear today, these displays were early forms of marketing. You went where the beautiful music and interesting moving objects were located, and the businesses hoped that you would come inside and spend your hard-earned dollars. The automatons we have on display in these circus wagons are just the tip of the iceberg. We have many more to show you later in the tour. Continuing to look left, you will see our tableau of dogs playing poker. If you lived through the 1960s, chances are you remember dogs playing poker and pool as artwork that hung on many family room walls. These anthropomorphic animals first appeared on calendars that advertised tobacco products and have become iconic in our American culture, and they are still being reproduced today. Please make sure to look at our framed and lighted poster of one of the most famous of these paintings, titled A Friend in Need. Properly titled, as you can see, the bulldog is slipping his buddy an ace under the table. Was he a good dog or a bad dog? Only you can decide. Moving along, we have an assortment of vintage amusement park items on your left, starting with the blue Lug-Seat Brother auto scooters that are known as bumper cars. They are from the 1940s. Behind them are Dodge bumper cars that represent the 1950s. Following them, there is a 1930 roller coaster carriage made by the Philadelphia Toboggan Company. This carriage is wooden and was made at a time before there were safety regulations. No seatbelts or lap bars on this ride. You just held on and prayed when you went speeding down the hills of the roller coaster.
All that. Anymore.
As we round the corner, there is Albert Einstein on the left, along with a vintage tractor seat collection, as well as vintage tractors. Looking left, check out the typewriters located by the tractors. Why do we have typewriters? The answer is, we have a lot of visits from student groups, and many of them don't know what a typewriter is. In addition to typewriters, we also show young people a payphone and vinyl records. Mind blown. As we travel along, looking right, we have lions and tigers and bears. Oh my! Look right to see our favorite animal in this display, Calamity Jane. She has a gun in her holster, whiskey in her boot, and a custom-made cowgirl hat. Now that is what we call really good ranch dressing right there. Across from Calamity, you will see the Rupp motorcycle, the red cycle with 2 wheels in the back and 1 in the front. This was made in the early 1970s. Elvis Presley had one just like it. Our collector loves Elvis, so he had to have one too.
You ain't nothing but a house dog.
Next to the Rupp are beautiful red, white, and blue Stars and Stripes motorcycles. They were made in California and custom built to resemble the iconic motorcycle Captain America from the 1969 movie Easy Rider, starring Peter Fonda. But the star of the show in this aisle is the first self-propelled wheelchair invented in this country. Here on the left, we have the Custer chair, designed by Levitt Luzer and Custer and introduced in 1916 in Dayton, Ohio, where Mr. Custer lived. The wheelchair we have on display is battery-operated and used mostly indoors. They also made gasoline-powered wheelchairs for outdoor use. Notice the tiller bar that was used for steering. The wheelchair sold for $175. At that time, the average price of an automobile was $700. Many people, including men coming home from World War I, used the Custer chair. As we drive along, looking left, you will see motorcycles. And don't miss the ragtop convertible display on your right. First, we have a 1967 Oldsmobile, then the pen and blue Chevrolet Corvette. Chevrolet started manufacturing Corvettes in 1953, but the first year they were in the showroom was 1954. Our gorgeous 54 Vet is all original under the hood. After the Corvette, we have a 1960 black Cadillac with red leather interior. Notice the dual headlights on that beautiful automobile. 1960 was the first year that dual headlights were legal in every state. This car also has the big tail fin styling in the rear of the automobile. If you were driving that Cadillac in the early 60s, you were riding in style. Around the corner and on the right side of the tram, we have a really big shoe. Some people ask why. We ask, why not? This shoe is actually from a now defunct cable channel called Wedding Central. And since we love all things oversized, we were happy to add it to our collection. After the shoe is the gigantic Ronald McDonald in his blue jumpsuit, followed by a bicycle built for 7. This red bike is called a Kobe, which is short for Conference Bike. Designed in San Francisco, there are 300 of these bikes in 18 different countries around the world. You will see all kinds of bicycles here at the American Treasure Tour, including the early penny farthing and many models sold in this country from the 1950s and onward. As we go down the corridor, please note that you are in a building that originated as a B.F. Goodrich tire factory. In the 1970s, they were producing 12,000 tires a day here. After being in business over 50 years, the tire factory closed in the mid-1980s. Rather than demolishing this huge building, which is 1,200,000 square feet, the new owner repurposed it, and today it houses many businesses, including our sister company, Arnold's Family Fun Center. Check out Arnold's Fun Center for the biggest and best go-karting, arcade, and bowling east of the Mississippi. Toward the end of this hallway, on the right, you will find the glitzy sequined Mummer costumes. The Mummers are a Philadelphia tradition, and their first official parade was on New Year's Day in 1901. The history of the Mummers is as colorful as their costumes and began as rivalries between Philadelphia neighborhoods. As we enter the next room in our journey, you will find that just like in our music room, we have miniatures here. On your left, the first display shows a miniature circus from the early days when the circus came to town on the train. The canvas tents were set up in a field, and the 3-ring circus and sideshow became the town entertainment for a few special weeks. The second display is a miniature amusement park from Moundsville, West Virginia, and used to be in an ice cream parlor window. It has the distinction of being handmade with no plastic. It's all wood and metal, and it is run by old Singer sewing machine motors. The last display is from the state of Minnesota and was made by a husband and wife team, John and Hilda Newman. They displayed this miniature fairground in their appliance store window.
No way.
Got that guy from who started it? circus stuff all over the wall.
That machine we just heard was a Wurlitzer Model 153, and it is just the first of many band organs we are going to hear on our tour today. We are about to enter a room full of them.
They have a Chuck E. Cheese plushie up there.
We are now in the band organ room. That machine we just heard is the second band organ in on your right. It's the nice blue color. It is an artisan band organ from North Tonawanda, New York. That's up by Niagara Falls. And you may be surprised to hear that its identical twin sister is just to the left of it, the machine that appears to be green. We've repainted the blue one so you can see what it looked like new. And the green machine shows you about 100 years of weather and wear. Unlike the Nickelodeons you can hear in our music room, band organs are typically outdoor machines. They live on fairgrounds and with carousels, that sort of thing, so they tend to take a beating over time battling the elements. In front of our band organs are many, many more of the storefront animations and displays that we saw just a few of in our circus wagons. We are absolutely surrounded by them in this room. But throughout each of them to your right is a giant coil. It is a giant slinky. It's actually the world's largest slinky. It's 100 feet long and 48 inches in diameter. Slinky was invented by a Penn State graduate named Richard James, and the first store to sell one was Gimbel's in Philadelphia. It is truly a Pennsylvania-based toy. So we will travel down the length of this slinky. We will hear some more band organ music as we go along. Just up ahead on your left is an item you surely cannot miss, the Popsicle Stick Castle. This castle is so large that it made its way into the 2009 Guinness Book of World Records. It was constructed by just one man, Steve Gooman. He's from Connecticut, and he constructed this castle from 396,000 popsicle sticks, and it is held together by 4 gallons of Elmer's glue. Before we listen to some more band organ music, please note that just up ahead on your right, you will be passing the oldest functioning automaton in the collection, the Sword Swallower. He dates back to the late 1890s, so he would have been in one of the very first storefront window displays in America.
Here comes the circus section. All the clowns come. There could be a Dolly Dimple up there from Mr. Cheese, but not really sure. Got it. Alright, here we go. Rock down head, whole bunch of funk down the back there, whole bunch of funk. Logo head back. Entire clown section. Got a big clown up there, a whole bunch of funk down Remind me of a monkey dance. On the walls, we have a whole bunch of clowns. Got bears. Gone into the Christmas section. Got a big
The machine you just heard is located in the front right corner of the room and is golden yellow in color. It is the Wurlitzer Model 165. It was the last band organ the Wurlitzer Company ever made. It was shipped to Griffith Park in Los Angeles, California in 1939, where it accompanied a carousel for many years. There are only 11 of these machines left in the world, and we have 3 of them here at the American Treasure Tour Museum. You will hear the other 2 play later in your tram ride. Ladies and gentlemen, on your left is the beginning of one of the most popular exhibits here at the American Treasure Tour Museum. Lit Brothers Department Store's enchanted Colonial Village Christmas display. You will see 9 of the original buildings that were originally on display at Lit Brothers 1960s and could be seen every Christmas season until Lit Brothers closed their doors in 1977. A local man named Thomas Comerford was the Lit Brothers house designer and worked with a German company to come up with this design in the style of a colonial village. As we slowly travel along, the majority of the buildings will be on your left. But as we come around the first corner on our right, a smaller scale animated display from Macy's department store in Philadelphia. These were on display in their New York City location in the early 1960s. This display shows Victorian-era Christmas, along with the church scene and nativity. After they were seen at Macy's, they were sold to Hershey Park and were a part of their Candy Cane Lane Christmas display. Of course, after winter and Christmas comes springtime and Easter, which we have represented by all of the bunnies, ducks, chicks, and even Easter eggs. Don't miss the giant Peeps included in this display. Peeps are made not too far away in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Just up ahead on your left, you will find one of the most recognizable families in America, The Simpsons. The Simpsons are the longest-running primetime show in television history. They started in 1989. No! In the corner of this room, you will find the giant papier-mâché Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. They were the prized possession of Irene Higgins and were donated in her memory by her daughters. They are one of a very few number of donated items in this collection. Practically everything else you see on display has been purchased by our mystery collector. Before you leave this room, don't miss on the end to your right, Pinocchio, starring in his very own puppet show.
When you reach the monster, make no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come to you.
Take a look to your right and see dozens of hand-painted sideshow banners. They are exact replicas painted by Lancaster County artist Joan Fay. They are exact replicas except for their size. When we commissioned her to paint them for the museum, we asked her to shrink them down. We wanted to fit many acts on each wall. Originally, they would have been so large they could have filled a whole wall on their own.
Cheese, also known as Chuck E. Cheese, with his pizza-loving friends Mr. Munch and Helen Henny. Standing behind are the Warblets. Chuck E. Cheese has been serving pizza and fun since 1977.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to our show. Well, gang, let's salute all the good people who are out there working for a living. How about some days won't end ever, and some days pass on by. I'll be working here forever, at least until I die. Darn if you do, and darn if you don't. I'm supposed to get a raise next week, and no darn well I won't. I'll be working for a living, working for a living, working for a living, living, I'm taking what I'm giving, 'cause I'm working for a living. Working for a living isn't bad at all when you have as much fun working as we do, right, girls? So hang around and enjoy the pizza. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back in a few minutes. We're taking what they're giving because we're working for a living.
Moving along is the world's largest Gumby, stretching 20 feet high. On the front wall is the Drowsy Chaperone sign. This is a sign that hung on Broadway in New York City. In front of that beautiful Broadway sign is the best of our music. The machine in the middle is the only Wurlitzer model, number 175.
So, we left the tram car. I think it's about to die. And I did speak with the manager, which was nice. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Let's look at what's in here. Down here. It's another part of it. Lots of echo in here. But see you in the next video. Bye, guys.